Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be making some cross buns, and let's get right into the ingredients. So we have 3 cups of flour here. We have some salt. We're going to use about a teaspoon, some mixed essence, some mixed spice, some olive oil. You can use regular vegetable oil. Here we have 1 tablespoon cinnamon powder, 1/4 cup of sugar, and 1 teaspoon baking powder. We have about 4 tablespoons melted butter, and we have here some mixed fruits and raisins. You can use cherries or whatever other fruits that you like, but this is what I am using. And we have our yeast blooming there in a cup of warm milk. So we are just going to add all our dry ingredients. Here I use just about a teaspoon of salt, and we added our sugar, cinnamon, and baking powder, and just about a teaspoon, 1.5 to 2 teaspoons of mixed spice. So we're just gonna whisk that all together nicely before adding our wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Make sure everything is mixed and evenly distributed. Just gonna add our raisins and our mixed fruits to the liquid, along with our butter, the mixed essence, and about a tablespoon of the olive oil or your oil of choice before adding it to the dry ingredients. So we're now mixing our dry and wet ingredients together to form a dough. I know it looks a bit dry, but trust the process. It came out well at the end. You just gotta mix and mix. I'm accustomed using a stand mixer, so doing this with my hand after so long, I just had to take my time and get it done. So here you see we have a dough forming, so just trust the process. Here I just added a little bit of flour and placed the dough into another bowl. Just transfer it to another bowl and kneaded it a little bit more just to get it as smooth as possible. You can use oil also, because adding more flour here just makes the dough a little bit more dense. I personally prefer a softer and more fluffier cross buns instead of the heavy set or denser cross buns. So in future I think I would add oil instead of the flour, but nevertheless that's what we want right there, the dough springing back. So we're just going to cover that and place it in a warm place. For me, I just put a container of warm water into the oven and place this on top. So the dough has doubled in size. This is some 45 minutes after. So we're just going to grease our pan and prepare our dough for baking. So onto a lightly floured surface, we're going to add our dough and just make it into a log. Again, we can use oil so that we're not still incorporating flour. making our mixture denser so we can use oil. I'd recommend that you use oil. So we just divide our dough into equal parts. I ended up getting 12 small cross buns. If you want them a little bigger, you can probably just do 9 or even 6. So here we are just making them off into some round balls and placing them on the baking tray. So we're just setting them nicely onto the tray. After doing so, I left them for another for another 50 minutes to an hour, just to double in size. They didn't quite double, but close enough, before placing them into an oven at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes, and they were good to go. So here we're just making our mixture for the top to make the cross. Of course, this is not a must, because usually I just take a scissors and clip the top, kind of like an X kind of thing, or use a knife and run it and make the cross. But I decided to be a little extra and just mix some flour with some white sugar and water to put on the top. So we're just gonna pour that out into a Ziploc bag, because I did not have a piping bag. Nevertheless, this worked quite fine. So this is after the 45-50 minutes thereabout, and I'm just putting the flour mixture to form the cross, as you see here, before placing it into the oven to bake. So this is the cross buns straight out of the oven. I still did not get a pastry brush, so we're going to use the butter wrapper. Yes, I'm just going to apply some butter. Of course, usually you put a sugar syrup, then you just mix sugar and water and apply it to the top to glaze it. But the buns was already a bit sweet, so I just decided to put the butter on top, followed by a glaze I made just with sugar, icing sugar and milk, and reinforce the cross at the top. So there you have it, hot cross buns for the Easter. Hope you guys try this. Let me know how it comes out. If you do, be blessed.